In this video, I'm going to do a review of Divi. So this is my Divi 2018 review. So I'll be covering 7 main areas which I think make Divi the superior page builder out there. And of course, these are my opinions. Right, so let's start off with ease of use. So by far, I think Divi is the easiest to use out there compared to other page builders. Now, let's take a look at the interface and let me show you how it works and how you can get started. So over here, I'm in my WordPress admin dashboard. So all you need to do is to either add a post or a page. So I'm going to start off with adding a page. So I'm going to click on add new. And we can call this page anything we want. So I'm just going to call this review. And I'm just going to show you how easy it is to use this interface. So I'm going to go ahead now and click on use the Divi builder. And then I'm going to go straight to the visual builder. So the first here is build from scratch. So this is where you build the page from scratch, okay? The second option is an option where you can use pre-designed layouts, okay? So Elegant Themes produces 2 every week, and these are very, very good because they give you a very good starting point when you start designing your website. In fact, I'll be showing you later on in this video how you can use these pre-made layouts. Right, and the last one here is the clone existing page. So let's say you have a page that you're working on, you spend time on it, you can actually click on that and clone that page and then just remove or add items that you need to that. So this is a very important initial page. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and click on start from scratch. Right, so at first when you take a look at this, it's a bit confusing, but I'll explain. And once I've explained this, you'll understand how this works. So I'm just going to close this. So at first here, it looks like it's blank. Now, the good thing about Divi is it's not in your way. And this is what makes designing websites with Divi really, really cool. So every time you see a plus button, that means we can add something in. And if you take a look here, when I mouse over this area, we start seeing those plus buttons. So let's say I need to add a row. So I can click this plus button and add my row. So I can choose my columns. So let's say I want to have 3 columns. Click on that. So now I have 3 columns. So the next thing now is the modules. So the modules are very important because these are the building blocks of your website. So we have quite a lot in here to choose from. So we can add buttons, call to actions. We can add a contact form. So let's start with a contact form. And also I should mention that one of the good things about Divi as well is every module that you add comes in with demo content. So this is really good because you don't have to start from scratch. So it gives you an idea of how things are going to look. So let me give you 3 examples here. So I'm going to add a contact form and straight away you can see that's how it looks. Okay, I'm going to save this, move on to the next column. And let's say this time I need to add a button. I'm going to click on button and there we go. We have a button. I'm going to save this. And finally, let's add a video. So I'm going to, in fact, you can actually search for this. So this demo I'm doing here is just for the interface. So you can see how quickly I'm adding all my modules onto the page. So let's say I add a video. And again, it gives me a preview of how that video works. Now, back to the interface. Every time you see the gear icon, it means that's the settings. So that means you can go in and make your customizations there. So for example, here, this is a section. So if I go into this gear icon, I can access everything that I need. Now notice, as I'm making all these changes, everything is right before my eyes. And this is very important because it doesn't take us away from the page and then do some previews. You're actually seeing real-time results as you're building your page. Let me just do one quick thing here. So let's say I want to add a background color. So if I click here and add black, right there and then you can see how that color looks on that particular section. So this is really, really good. It reminds me kind of like Photoshop where you're actually making your designs as you're actually seeing it. So this is very, very good. And this is one of the big pluses when it comes to the interface. Okay, and finally, if you want to make some changes to your modules, again, you come over here, you hover over it, and then you click the gear icon, and that takes you into the button settings. Now, when we take a look here at the button settings or at any module setting, it has these 3 little tabs. So the first one is where you add the content. The second one is where you do your styling. And then the third one is where you add your custom CSS for those of you who are really advanced. So this is how the builder works. So as you can see, the builder is easy to use. Now, let me give you one more example and show you how you can use this builder by loading up a pre-made layout. So let's just call this pre-made. Okay, I'm going to click on use the Divi builder, use visual builder. Now, we are going to choose the pre-made layout option. So if I click here, it goes straight into our library. So this is where we have all these free pre-made layouts. These are highly customizable and they use high resolution images, and also you can use these images whenever you want. Right, so let's choose a layout here. So I'm going to go with the first one here, which is the restaurant, and then I'm going to click on load this layout. So that's all you need to do. You load the layout and then you go into the actual layout and make all your customization. So I'm just going to do a few changes to this page just to show you how easy it is to get started with these pre-made layouts. And this is one of those things that makes it easy to use Divi. Right, so I have my page loaded up here, all my images are in place, and as you can see, all my fonts are laid out correctly, the colors are fantastic. So let's say you want to turn this website into a totally different website which has nothing to do with food. Right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on this gear icon to get into the full header settings. And then I'm going to find where this image has been added. Now take a look here. We have this filter. So if I go to modified styles, it tells me straight away where these modified styles are on this actual page. So it makes it easier for me to find where I can make all my customizations. So right now I can see here that my image is right here. I can click on it and then I can load my own image from the library or load it up from my computer. So if I come over here to my library, I already uploaded an image. So let's go ahead and edit. So I'm going to click here and upload my image. So within a few moments, we can see right away that my image has been added. So that's it. Those are just a few clicks and I've added my background image. Now, let me go in and change this text. And guess what? You can actually do some inline editing, which means you can click here and start typing. So I'm just going to change that to Max Car. And just like that, I've edited my text, and that's how easy it is to customize this. So once you're done with that, you can just click on save, and now our page has been updated. Now, you can also go in and make even further adjustments, but the bottom line here is you have pre-made layouts. They give you a very good starting point for you to start designing your website. So you don't have to be a pro. Everything is out there for you. You can go in and make changes. Now, talking about learning Divi. Divi also comes with great documentation. So every single module, every single row. So talking about ease of use, Divi also has fantastic documentation. Let me just show you. So let's say you're new to Divi, it's your first time using Divi, and you're really confused about how these modules or sections or rows work. You can always come in here into this gear icon, and every time you see this help, if you click here, you get a pop-up, and this has videos that tell you pretty much what this section is about. And the good thing is it's well laid out that all these videos are not all over the place. So every time you go into that particular thing, it shows you that video. So right now we're in the sections. So that's where you get your helper. So let me save this and let me choose something else. So let's say I'm here on this row. So if I click on this gear icon, again, we see this help. If I click on it, we get this pop-up, and you can also adjust this, adjust the size and how it looks. So as you play this, it tells you exactly how this row works. So this applies to every single item in Divi. Okay, now it's time to move on to point number 2. So before we go to number 2, I have a disclaimer to make. Now, this video is my personal review. I've not been asked by Elegant Themes to make this review. And also, even though I'm part of the Elegant Themes team, I've been using Divi myself before I actually joined the team. And these things that I'm talking about are things that I feel are really, really good. And these are the things that I personally think make Divi great. All right, so now with that out of the way, let's move on to number 2. So graphic design tools. Now, there's no builder out there that has as much graphic design tools as Divi has. So what makes Divi powerful now is the fact that it's a builder. You can build websites, and you also have ways of customizing your website within that builder using graphic design tools. Now, let me go in and show you what I mean by this. So right now we have this image. If I go into the image settings, click on design, we notice here that we have quite a lot of things. We have animation, and there are so many ways to customize your animation here. We have filters. Now, these filters, these are the sort of things that you get in Photoshop, and we have them in Divi. Now, let me show you how this works. So you can adjust the brightness. So as I'm doing this straight away, you can play around with all these settings, and these are updating your website in real time. If I come over here on the contrast, I can actually adjust that just like that. Okay, I can even add some sepia here, and even the opacity. So let's say I want to bring this down. So all these things actually save you a lot of time, because if you wanted to achieve these settings, you would have to take your image, go into Photoshop, make those customizations, and then bring it back into Divi. So you can see here that it saves you a lot of time when it comes to designing your website. Now let's take a look at another graphic design tool. So if I come over here to box shadow, we see that if I click here, our shadow has been applied, and we can also make some adjustments here. And this is a different type of background. This one is also different. And the good thing is when we come over here, we can actually add our different colors and customize this to your liking. So that is fantastic. Now, here's one of the most important graphic design tool, and this is color. Now, color is very, very difficult if you're not trained to actually work with color. Sometimes I cannot pick out which colors work well together. Now, as a result of that, I would have to go into a separate tool which shows me colors that work well together. These are known as the color harmonies. So these now are inbuilt within Divi, and there's also an algorithm that helps you choose colors that work well together. Now, how cool is that? Let me show you what I mean. So right now I have these default colors. If I click these three little dots here, take a look at that. Now, all these colors work well. Now, I didn't have to go out and find a different tool to select all the colors that work well together. This is inbuilt, it's inside Divi, and it's part of the builder. And this is now going to make our website look even more professional. Okay, so before I move on to number 3, I want to talk about one more thing that I think is very important when it comes to your design, and this is your fonts. So I'm just going to come over here and add a new module, and this is going to be a text module. Right, so I'm just going to search for it, select it, and over here I'm just going to add a title. So adding a title is very easy. All I have to do is to highlight it, click on paragraph, and set it to heading 1, heading 2, or heading 3. Right, now, if I come over here to design and I go to heading text, we have all these options. So right now, H1 is selected by default. So now I can start choosing my font that I need to use. So let's say I want to go with this one here, Play Fade Display. And over here we have the font weight, and this is really, really cool because I can choose heavy, bold, and so on. And then over here I can make it all caps if I wanted, and I can align it. So now we have even more things that we can do to our font. So if I come all the way down here, we can see here we have the heading text shadow. So I can add my shadow just like that, and also adjust the color of that shadow. And I can also move it around here just by doing that. So I can have this so precise, and also make even more styling to this. Now, after all that, I can also come here to the bottom and animate it. So let's say I need to make it bounce. You can see that just by clicking that, it's bouncing, and I can make it bounce from the center, bounce from the right, and so on. And we can also time this on the animation. So this is really cool. There's a lot of options that we can use with our fonts, and there's a lot to choose from, and many, many ways to customize our fonts. Okay, so moving on, let's go on to number 3, and this is documentation and tutorials. Now, I touched on this a little bit earlier on in the video. So this is where you can come to any item here in Divi, click on this question mark, and you have all these videos. Now, the other thing as well that I need to mention is there's also some written documentation which you can access by going to the Divi website. So I'll leave a link to that in the comments box below. Okay, so now let's talk about one of the most important things when it comes to learning Divi, and these are the tutorials. So on Elegant Themes, we actually have quite a lot of us creating tutorials. I mean, there's a tutorial every single day, and we also have live shows. So you can join this community and watch how Divi is used. There's also use case scenarios where we have these pre-made layouts, and we make some customizations to it, add some plugins, and show you how this can be used in the real world. So there's a lot of resources out there that you can use in order for you to learn how to use Divi. Now let's move on to number 4. And number 4 is pre-made layouts. Now, again, I touched a little bit about pre-made layouts in the beginning, but let me go into detail and explain how these work. So when it comes to pre-made layouts, they're released twice every week. Now, these pre-made layouts are professionally designed. In fact, we have a dedicated design team that works on these pre-made layouts, and these are 100% free for you to use. As I mentioned, these are a very good starting point when it comes to designing your pages. Now, licensing. All the images that you get in these pre-made layouts are 100% free to use. And we also have a dedicated photographer that does all these photos which are included in these pre-made layouts. So this is really, really big. So I would recommend that you start using these pre-made layouts as a starting point for your website. And as I mentioned, these pre-made layouts are released twice every week, and these are absolutely free. As far as I know, there won't be any charge even in the near future. So this is one reason why you may want to buy Divi. Okay, now before I move on to the number 5, I would like to say if you hang on till the end, I have a fantastic bonus that I'm giving you, that I'm giving away to anyone that watches this until the end. Right, so number 5 is the ability to export layouts. Now this is huge. There's companies out there that are making a living just by designing these layouts in Divi and selling them. So this is huge. So you can actually design your website or design your layouts and actually sell them as child themes. So this is actually fantastic news for those of you who want to make some money on the side by creating these layouts. Okay, so moving on, we are almost done. We are on number 6. So number 6 is about resources. So when it comes to getting help online, there's a lot of places that you can go. There's Divi communities, there's Facebook groups, there's the Elegant Themes forum, there's also the YouTube channels, and even on my own channel, I can respond to Divi questions. And I also do a lot of tutorials where I go into Divi, do some showcases. I can do some tutorials on how modules, themes are used to actually make fully functioning websites. And also not forgetting the live shows. So on the Elegant Themes channel, there's a lot of live shows. There's the use case. There's also the Divi feature update, which happens every week. And in fact, let's talk about that. Now, to my knowledge, there is no builder out there that has features being released almost every single week. And this is amazing. So these features that are being added are features that are making Divi even easier to use. So when you invest in Divi, you're investing in a very solid platform, which has a team of highly skilled designers and also a team which has a vision for the future. Okay, so now we are on number 7, and number 7 is about the pricing. So Elegant Themes has a basic pricing structure. So let's take a look at this. So there's yearly access and there's lifetime access. So the yearly access is only $89 per year. And with that $89, you have full access to all the themes, all plugins, theme updates, premium support, unlimited website usage, and a risk-free guarantee. Now, think about it. Unlimited websites. This is the one I need to focus on because this is phenomenal. With $89, you can build unlimited websites. That's brilliant. Now, if you want to take this to the next level and go for the lifetime access, guess what? For only $249, it's a one-time fee, and this gives you lifetime access to all the themes, all the plugins, lifetime updates, lifetime premium support, and unlimited website usage. Now, this is ideal for a design agency or even if you're a freelancer. So $249 will give you all this, and this is forever, basically. And I would say if you're really serious about designing websites, go for the unlimited version, because this, once you get it, that's it, you're set for life, because Divi is always going to get better. Okay, so now we are at the end of the review, and I promise that I have something special and a special bonus at the end of the video, and this is it. Now, because this is a review, I have set aside a mini course which you can go ahead and sign up. It's absolutely free, and this is where you get to see how Divi works. I go into much more detail and just show you each of the features and pretty much an overview of how Divi works. So go ahead, it's absolutely free, no strings attached. All you have to do is to click the link that are provided in the show notes and go ahead and check it out. So if you're impressed about what Divi can do and the power of Divi and what it has to offer, you can also buy Divi using my affiliate link, which I've included in the show notes below. And if you use my affiliate link, I will give you access to Divi University. Now, this is the hub of Divi tutorials and Divi courses. So you can go ahead and get access to everything. So if you purchase the $89, the yearly access, I will give you access to the Divi Blueprint course. But if you purchase the lifetime license, I will give you access to Divi University. And this is access to pretty much all the courses that I have right now and also the future courses. All you have to do is to send me an email with proof that you've just purchased that from Elegant Theme. So that's all you have to do. Okay, so that's all I have for you in this video. So please subscribe and also hit the bell notification. By doing that, you'll be notified every time I go live or when I post new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.